Scientific breakthroughs, the unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. One, two. First World Order Radio, Tipz and Trikz Tuesdays. I'm Blackwater, the Meta Magician. Tipz and Trikz Tuesdays, another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. That pig, that's fine. Hijacking the mind. Aluminum bonds with intelligence. Rewind the message. Merry Christmas. 13 indigenous immigrants. State of the unison. Addressing nothing. Foundations can ruin. Level to level. Fuck the embezzlements. Tales from the crypt. Hitting blood rituals. 50 scores flying over California vacation. Flying dragons. Swords and daggers. Lions and tigers. Gotta get my bearings or perish. Tap into raw flesh. Vampire, vegetarian. I'm a malnutrition. Chemically imbalanced. Ethiopian. Inhaling kush. Blue projects get pushed. Move with the bush. Standing on the middle line. No defining. Swirling dervish. In between space and time. Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day. Just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day. Just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday.
Whether you suffer from pain in your back to aches in your knees, come on down and purchase you some ancestral tea to get rid of all the parasites, toxins, and fleas. Spiritual elevation for cosmic gravitation. So put away the patience, cause there's no time to be wasted.
Ancestral tea, that's all you need. Ancestral tea,
So you better believe,
ancestral tea,
and it works for real.
ancestral tea,
So put away your pills,
ancestral tea,
that's all you need.
ancestral tea,
So you better believe,
ancestral tea,
and it works for real.
ancestral tea.
So put away your pills. This is a public commercial advertisement for AncestralTeas.com. All rights are reserved. Peace.
Scientific breakthroughs, the unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. One, two. First World Order Radio.
Okay. True indeed. Guess who's black? No. I'm gonna turn some lights. Hold up. It is once again Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. And I am your host, Blackwater. Blackwater the Meta Magician, aka aka El-Bey. I'm El-Bey, brother El-Bey, El-Bey. Here with you this evening on Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Like I said, I'm gonna hit these lights so my shirt glow in the dark. No, it doesn't really. My teeth glow in the dark. Look like I'm I don't know, man. Wow. I'm looking at the screen over here and the camera's in front of me. But anyway. Alright, so let me get these lights on. Hold up. Sure. Having fun. Something like that. Today, I was, like usual, I wasn't planning on doing a blog today. But, no, not a blog talk, but actually, Tipz and Trikz Tuesday is normally on Blog Talk Radio. Like I mentioned a few weeks ago. been having some technical difficulties with telephones and everything. I cracked this one. Had this phone 2 weeks. 2 weeks! You know, when it fell on the ground, I just looked at it like, it was about time. You know, some people, well, you know how it is. It's just a superficial material item. But today, I was, it's two things the reason behind today's discussion on gong, not to be mistaken with a gong as such, like that, but basically gong, qigong is in qigong. Gong means in Chinese or Mandarin Chinese, basically it means work. It could also be it could be further elaborated as skill or time and effort, as in the time and effort it takes to accomplish a task. So that requires what? Work, of course, right? So when we say qigong, what we're talking about, qi is breath or energy, spirit, but this qi, and then gong, it means basically working with the spirit or working with the breath or working with the energy. Now, when we work with the energy or work with the breath, it requires dedication. You know, I call it DCD. Basically, that means DCD, deliberate cognitive discipline. I was about to say I made it up, but DCD is deliberate cognitive discipline, meaning that we deliberately and knowledgeably or knowingly discipline ourselves with certain activities throughout the course of the day, week, month, year, life, whatever, right? So in that process, we let go of certain things and gain certain things, certain attributes, certain habits, if you will, good habits, bad habits, but letting go of certain things and then reissuing certain things that were maybe misplaced, so to speak. But so qigong or gong basically means to work. So in work, that means you got to be motivated to work. But in any type of work, it requires action, movement. So I'm like, I didn't want to do no. Matter of fact, I don't know what's the current events for the past few weeks. I haven't really been tuned in to a lot of information that's been going on out there like that. I haven't had the TV on. I think I watched a movie. What movie did I check out? It was a new movie, Singularity. Checked out Singularity, and it was another movie, fairly new that people, dang, I can't remember something that came out, but I checked it out somewhere. But at any rate, that Singularity was kind of, he was talking about some robots or something. It was cybergenetics basically, and the first AI and all this other stuff. Y'all might have seen it. Check it out. It's all good, but that's not about. I'm not talking about nothing like that. But anyway, we're gonna build on gongs. Gong, qigong, basically again means or to skill the breath, or the time and effort it takes to skill the breath. So the time and effort it takes means that we are going to put, to the side a reasonable amount of time throughout the day to perfect a skill in an art. The skill being qigong. It could be anything though, but like take 4 or 5 years to go to school, you know what I'm saying, or to a university or something to get that piece of paper and walk across that stage and all that. But in life in general, it's going to take a certain amount of time to develop a keen awareness and a type of level of skill to where we are able to function in whatever reality is that we are participating with at that moment. I mean, it could be a trade or something, like a job, a task, or something like that, a technical skill, that we might learn at some of these schools out here, whatever. But it could be art or some type of talent that is innate within us that may need direction from intelligence or from someone that is intelligent, or from the breath. So the breath, within the breath resides everything. Matter of fact, I decided the next 3 months throughout winter, well, the next 3 months going into winter, I decided not to take any supplementation. Now, I've been supplementing with nutrients and you know, with vitamins and minerals, nutrients for about 6-7 years. So I decided for these 3 months right here, I'm just gonna go all out and just do qigong, tai chi, meditation, yoga, and gain my supplements from the elementals for a few months to see what happens. Because this is the time of the year with the flu shot and all that other good stuff. So I want to be in this, that we are scientists. I'm a scientist, you know, I'm a doctor, or you know, I teach in this set. So being a sanu or a doctor or on myself, of course, we experiment on ourselves first, and then we go out and we let you know what it is. So I've been experimenting on myself pretty much all my life, you know, since we are scientists, alchemists. So in that exchange of the energies, like the Naga shirt, you know, two energy connecting, we build certain type of informative connections between ourselves and the energy or the spirit, the intelligence, whatever it may be. But this is an interconnection that was already there. Like I'm saying, it may require some task or a skill like deep breathing exercises to unleash or unlock those innate abilities or those different aspects of ourself, which is basically within the DNA or within the information that resides within the DNA, the labyrinth of our library of life, infinite life, you know, the Nagas. All right, so within these this qigong type of reality or gong birth work, there is a massive amount of the different type of abilities that can be acquired. You know what I'm saying? It's too many to name, but all of these different abilities, extrasensory perceptions or higher sensory perceptions. If you notice the Shaolin monks or whatnot, through folklore they made these shows now, Naruto, and different shows like that depict these ancient Oriental type of mystery or mythologies that participate with extraordinary type of physical activities. So when we get involved with the qigong, we have, or not just qigong, but I did title this gong, but when we get involved with doing the work, I just drank some of these probiotics, something. I had to drink something they had in the fridge, but I popping on a supplement. So this is my last. What I just took a L-glutamine or something. I've been working out today and all that good stuff. Keep my gut right. Keep that gut right. No, but so with the breath work, we can acquire, or we can build upon ourselves that avenue between ourselves or the physical and the spiritual, and in doing so, the communication or that step down information is much easier to personify. It's much easier to be able to discern and read it basically and see what it is that we're supposed to be picking up through that breath work. You know what I'm saying? When we don't breathe correctly, a lot of things happen to us physically, you know what I'm saying, emotionally, mentally, and of course spiritually, because that's where it starts. It starts from the physical aspect of the physical form. From the spiritual form. All right, so the first, like I said, I don't really have any personal things to talk about like that. Oh, well, one of the reasons that we are doing this today again was a few things that popped up. A brother had asked about cleaning auras, and I read the comment, the question on my phone. I didn't get around to the computer at that day, a couple of days afterwards. But I was like, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and approach that within this This correspondence right here, vernacular uplifting correspondence. I like the word lecture too sometimes, but every time I say lecture, I always think of Hannibal Lecter for some reason. But this vernacular uplifting correspondence. We'll speak on a few things pertaining to that, as well as go into. We're gonna talk about a few things tonight. Actually, there's gonna be more action. Because like I was saying, I don't want to do none of that gossipy type stuff with the media and bring in that type of emotion. Let's uplift humanity by bringing in a higher vibration, and by right action. Right action leads to right thought leads to right action. So I was thinking through it, first thought, best thought. He asked a question, about cleaning the auras. And I was like, that's a good question. But the book is Awakening the Healing Light. I don't know if I have it up here. Awakening the Healing Light by CHIA. It's a pretty decent book. Let me see. Do I have it up right here? So you can at least get a gander of what it looked like from the book, but it's called Awakening the Healing Light. I don't see it as of yet. I will be back with you shortly after these messages. We'll be right smack. Nah, it ain't up there. But it's called Awakening the Healing Light by CHIA. Awakening the Healing Light. It's a pretty decent read. It got a few things going on in there, but that's a good one to help bring about cleaning your aura. First of all, we want to clarify that and bring that rectify that situation from the jump. You don't want to go in there, cleaning, attempting to clean other people's auras if ours is not clean or purified. Basically, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around someone else's. The old saying, but if our auric field, if you will, or those different bodies have, I guess we want to call it putrid debris or something like that, toxicity or whatever, something chaotic going in between the physical and then the other layers, all the way up to, from the etheric all the way up to the causal. Then those interconnections, there'll be blockages in our manifestation, but in our movement, so that breath work, it'll be delays within it actually getting to where we want it to be, located. All right, so breath work, again, make sure our auric field is clean. So by cleaning our auric field is first and foremost, we go to the physical. The spirit is what initiates all things. So like in Tai Chi speaks on three fundamental aspects. The three fundamental aspects is basically movement, mind, and the chi, or the energy. So the energy is basically, that's all, so the all is mind. So the energy creates the mind, or whatever. The mind is all. So the energy formulates the mind that stimulates the movement or the physical action. So in the movement is going to be what we focus on. I had to learn the hard way, somewhat. I had a conversation with my martial arts instructor a couple of months ago, and he informed me that I should put more focus on teaching the movements prior to teaching about the breath. Because if too much information can cause, pretty much a short in the mainframe, in this, this organic mainframe, organic computer. So all the information getting downloaded once can be somewhat confusing to someone when they are learning for the first time how to utilize their breath. So now when I teach, I put more emphasis the first few sessions on the movement, so the muscle memory is acquired to where how the chi ball is formed, how to stay and relax. I call it, putting the flour in the pot. You got the stem, and you got your flour, and you form the chi ball and staying relaxed within the ball, keeping the wrists and the elbows relaxed, the shoulders drop, and and making sure the body is comfortable and it's not going through any dilemmas by way of the mind. You know what I'm saying? So when we connect the physical with the mind properly, it's going to naturally flow in with the breath, because that's where it initiated from. So since we are already functioning in the physical, body, so it's only right, or it would seem purposeful and more meaningful to go ahead and get that mind connected to the body, to where in that mindfulness we're seeing certain things, we're noticing it, and we're starting to witness, certain activities with our anatomy and the physiology and the way the structure of the body is moving. Then we go into the actual taking a breath and noticing, okay, now I'm moving in, gathering, I'm breathing in. So when I move out, I'm breathing it out. So that it's expansion and it's a contraction. Expansion and a contraction. The yin and the yang. The yang is the expansion. It's the activity, the active mode, the movement. The yin is the receptiveness. It's the contraction. It's the coming in, the closing in. You know what I'm saying? So in those two interactions, it develops a very dynamic correspondence. You know what I'm saying? And in this correspondence, in this collectiveness, this unification, we have life. You know what I'm saying? But basically, from this movement to the spirit, or from the spirit to the movement, is all one. While we are in the physical, it is good to go ahead and get a head start, if possible. For yourself, have some probiotics. Get that gut right. And probiotics, not anti, but yeah, get the good friendly gut going with the good friendly bacteria and stuff. Okay, but so make sure our auric field is clean, and then we can go out there and do that thing. So, but that's a good book, to Awaken the Healing Light by CHIA. The Inner Smile is in there, the Inner Smile technique, different techniques for meditation, different ways to build your spiritual body, your etheric bodies, and all that, the astral body, and be able to see the information, but also apply it. You know what I mean? I've went through some of the applications, you know what I'm saying, the functions and all that that's going on in there, and it's pretty decent. It's cool. But that's where the gum comes in. That's where the work comes in. So I know y'all be like, dang, he's sitting down again. Nah, not really. In meditation, it is a process of sitting, but within the function of meditation, it's a lot going on when there ain't nothing going on. That's life. You know what I'm saying? We thinking, the chair is still or whatever because the chair is over there, but that chair moving, doing all type of little rigid things and all that. Life is life. You know what I mean? Okay, but so just make sure our eyes are clean, and then we can go out there and do that. Cleaning the auric field, it's not too complicated, but it does amount to work again. So the auric field can have debris in it from emotional mishaps from past lives as well as this life. So it's good to make sure we don't have any emotional connections that are of a low vibration. It's good that we don't have any type of relationship that is pulling in that manner as well. Be it with a relationship that's a loving relationship between man and woman, or a relationship with a child, or a relationship with a boss, or somebody that we know, a friend, or just relating to certain things in life. We need to have a certain type of zero tolerance of emotion, to where the interchange of emotion is going to be tweaked by something external. So that means learning to control our emotions throughout the course of our life by way of meditative exercises of mindfulness, basically, and in that process, transcendence to these certain things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Being here is one thing. You know, we just stay in the moment, but do we have to necessarily sign up, like if it's a contractual agreement, to some of the activities, or even participate with it through vocalizing it? You know, sometimes I really don't want to. I can't say want, but sometimes I feel like it's a energy degeneration by going into certain topics or certain particular, you know, items of thought that's floating around out there, due to what it is energy. So if we take it in and absorb that energy, and we transfer the energy, whatever, to whatever it may be, then I'm utilizing the energy for something that I could be doing something greater with. You know what I'm saying? And we fall victim to this day to day, due to not being mindful, some of us, but in the conscious community, being that we are aware and intelligent about certain things, then we should definitely be more mindful of some of our activities on a day to day, to build that what we call that chi, or that spirit, so that the movements or the physical activities are in line with what's already there within the chi and the energy. Because the mind, being as the avenue of the energy to get to the physical, at times can play tricks on the body, because there's so much going on. So we might think that this is this and this is that, but in reality, ultimate reality, there is only one thing that is real, and that is that is our, basically our soul. You know what I'm saying? That's permanent. You know, the transitory functions that we participate with, they're not permanent. If so, then it will be a continuous loop, a perpetual loop, like every day we would pretty much do. And it gets to that mode somewhat, but the ancient Kemetic saying is a day that God didn't create is the day that wasn't God. So we definitely have potential. Okay. We definitely have the potential to be at our greatest within each second of the day. You know what I'm saying? And how we reach that point is by being attentive of ourselves throughout the day, having knowledge of self. So in that knowledge of self, that means, like I said, certain activities that we may want to participate with throughout the course of the day, a week, month, year, and our life on that journey. Peace and love, more peace and love, family. No doubt, Sister Tiffany and Kingfish Pro Aquarius, I say power. Inyan, peace. Peace, sister. Maba Natir, peace and love, peace. Peace all, peace everyone. So most definitely one of the first things within, before we clean someone else's oil field, most definitely get ours right. You know what I'm saying? That's imperative. That's very important. That's fundamental. All right. And again, today we're talking about gong, so that means, again, work. So we're gonna be doing some activities up here. Everything's gonna be 3-part. We're gonna do 3-part meditation, a 3-part yoga, or Vashita Simbatwai yoga. It's just gonna be 3 postures, and then we're gonna do 3 qigong, and actually we may do more than 3. We're gonna do 3 qigongs pertaining to the standing 8 postures of Shallow. That's relating to the 3 deities within Chinese folklore, Fook, Luke, and Shao. But that basically means abundance, prosperity, and longevity. So the 8 standing postures of Shallow is talking about longevity. So we're going to go through 3 of them, and then we're going to do 3 yoga postures, and later on, after we work on those for a few, because again, gung means work. So, you know, when we working on something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen that moment, 1 second. I mean, you know, I do say, you know, everything is taking place in a day, an hour, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? People ask me how old I am. I say 3 seconds old, because I'm not really participating with time and space in the same spectrum of thought or what we have learned with time. You know, it's an illusion. You know, time and space is basically just movement. You know what I mean? But in this movement of the spirit and this energy, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, we may forget certain things or whatever, but as it is right now, this is talking about remembering or putting the pieces back together. So we're going to do some activities in place of me just ranting, you know what I'm saying, all night about whatever. So the activities, again, we're going to be 3 parts on each one, from meditation. Then we're going to go into Watch the Semitwai. Watch the Semitwai means, again, the power that rises and unites both sides. All right. So, and then from the yoga, we're going to do 3 qigongs, 3 hard qigongs that's pertaining to the 8 standing postures of longevity, and then we're going to do 3 soft qigongs and 3 hard qigongs. Basically, I got a little surprise for you. I ain't gonna say what it is, but when we get to it, we get to it. Then we're gonna get into 3 parts of the small Tai Chi form. I'm trying to make this painless as possible, not being here, you know, too long, but these actions or activities, you know what I'm saying, is going to require a little work. So like I said, we're going to do 3 today, and then come back in a couple weeks after we've worked on it for a couple of weeks, you know what I mean, and then put 3 more in there. Then a couple weeks later, I might come back in and put 3 more in there, something like that, until we have the whole, because within that yoga or the Watch the Semitwai, it's a storyline. So we got 3 sections within it based on creation, the transition, and then the actual transformation or resurrection. All right, so we start out with the creation. That's going to be today. We're only going to do 3 postures though. So those 3 postures of creation, and then we'll come back and we'll do some more of the creation postures in a couple of weeks. And then we go into the transition, where it's transitory phase from creation into the resurrection of Osur, or the resurrection of yourself, you know what I'm saying, basically. But this is just it's a storyline within the actual Watch the Semitwai. Now, I'm rebranding it. It ain't like I made it up. I'm just rebranding Semitwai yoga storyline, or the actual cosmic factors that, or the cosmic principles that unify yoga, you know what I'm saying, that unify or yoke the physical and the spiritual together, you know what I'm saying. So those cosmic principles like Shu, or you know what I'm saying, being the breath, that's going to be one of the postures tonight, and Noon being the primeval waters. So first, you know, we're going through Nefertim, and then into Noon, and then into the Journey of Ra. This is a good book right here, African Yoga, by, as you can see right here, Pablo Imani Kansu Sekim Pata. Right. Get the glare off of. There you go. All right. Now I can't do that right there. No. But we're gonna do Noon, the primordial waters, collective unconscious. So that's the Noon pose. Okay, that didn't work. Noon pose. We're gonna get into it though. This is the next pose will be Shu. They're not exactly the way that I do them. It's different ways of doing Semitwai. All systems may have different. Basically, they may have reformed it or modified it to where it's for that system. You know what I'm saying? So with the watch the semi-twilight, I've modified it a little bit. Like I modified a few things, but all the things that I've learned to make it better for myself. Now you can do the same for you too. I'm just going to let you know what each one was going on. I may read it out the book as I go, but basically we're going to go through the yoga postures, 3 yoga postures, and start developing the storyline. Then we're going to go through 3 qigong, and then we're going to go through 3 postures within the small tai chi form that I placed. I posted it a minute back on the YouTube channel, on Dr. Eileen's YouTube channel, and it's been there for a minute, so you can go check it out for a reference. But I'm going to do 3 postures within that and bring about the movement or the energy, as well as what the application is as far as external martial arts is concerned. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to beat you in the head too much all night with it. I'm going to go ahead and get involved a little something and see how it pans out. Yeah, Miss Sister there, modified. Yep, Tiffany. Okay, no doubt. Okay. How would one release fear? By releasing fear from the kidneys? That's kind of a loaded answer, but I can. If you want to release fear, which we know is residing in the kidneys as far as a negative emotion, we could talk like with my CHIA and the inner smile. Convert the emotion from fear to courage, and being that the color is a black or blue, notice the color of black when you breathe in through the nostrils. See that fear, transfer the energy of fear, false experiences appearing real, and then convert it into courage, and have the courage to face everything and relax. So when we facing that everything and relax, that fear or that false experience, false evidence appearing real, is then converted to reality, your ultimate reality, which is your permanence, and it has nothing to do with anything that's of a lower base of motion. So if you want to start out to convert that energy that resides within the kidneys, that fear, the inner smile technique, going into the meditation deeper, and as we breathe in and we get to the kidney point, or the kidney part of the meditation, you just breathe in and you smile to your kidneys. Notice the kidneys, see them. You smile the color of black spiraling into the kidneys, and you change that fear emotion to courage on the exhalation, and just breathe courage all up in there. Just see the fear, know it, and see it's transitory. See it's not permanent, and then breathe that courage in there, because courage relates to love. Love is permanent. Love is noon, or it's the primeval waters. It's the unknown. You know what I'm saying? We can try to put our finger on a lot of physical things and say this is what this is, this is what that is, but basically, it's like the Tao states. The first stanza of the Tao states, the Tao that can be spoken of is not the true Tao. You know what I'm saying? So once we start naming something, it takes away the potential of it, because now we have control over whatever it is being named. So it's sort of like, when you think about it, we got a name for my mom and daddy, well, right? And when we get in trouble, they do what? They'll say our whole name. Ralph, Lauren, Ricky, Bobby, and you know what I'm saying, the whole New Edition and everybody, they say the whole name to get our attention. But it's like when we hear that whole name, it's different from hearing the nickname. They might be like, Lil Joe. As soon as it, Joseph Smith Barley, you better. They can say my whole name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we are controlled and manipulated through words somewhat, and titles. So once we put that vibration of sound to certain events, people, place, then that's what it becomes at that moment, when it could be something completely different. I got a curling iron. Man, I can use it as a fork and eat with it or something, right? But you know, since the curling line, that's what we title, that's what we call it. But you know, I'm just monkeying around. But that it's not permanent. So these titles can be disentangled and transformed and transferred. But yeah, that's a good way to start that. You know what I'm saying? Just go in and transfer the energy from fear to courage. The whole, and we're not going over the inner smile tonight, but you can check it out. I may have did a up on it. I think I did a minute back. Smile for Me. I think that's what it was called. Smile for Me. We went over it. It's probably on Blog Talk Radio, though. I don't think I did anything on YouTube at that time. Okay, but Smile for Me. So the first part of the meditation that we're going to do tonight is a 3-part meditation. I learned this from Dr. Eileen within the Healing Wings Institute. If you haven't joined up and took the course, do so. It's life-changing, life-altering. I went through it for about 3 months. It was a few years ago, but I went through it, and yeah, it really changed a lot of things. Some of the meditations, the information in general, but applying the information most definitely that's how we benefit. We will never see anything different if we keep doing the same thing. So if we're learning something and we're thinking what we're learning it ain't about what it is, then we're not applying the information properly. Especially if we see, I mean, everybody ain't the same anyway, but if we see that a brother or sister can go through certain activities and actually do it, then we have the capability to do it as well. So no one is any different from anyone on this planetary level. We all the same. So once we get it going, it don't take much to get it to stay that way. We just have to go about applying the information. So these three meditations that was taught, that he teaches in that course. I think it's it's the Healing Wings course, but it's 3 meditations. It may have been the Icon part of the course, but at any rate, the meditations are going to be stimulating 3 different areas. And I don't think he taught them together. I don't know. When I'm doing them here, that's how I perform it. You know what I'm saying? I perform it in this manner right here. It seems to be okay. You know what I'm saying? I ain't complaining. What up? So how we start, of course, relax. Get your shoulders relaxed. Make sure you sit somewhere comfortable. Don't necessarily have to sit in the lotus. Again, this is not the full lotus, but this is the lotus. Don't necessarily have to sit in the lotus, but this helps with balance. It helps with staying stationary. Helps strengthen the thighs, the hips, and speaking on the hips, this is a key for what we are going to be going over tonight. The hips play a major role in our life. You know what I'm saying? In Tai Chi, we say that synchronize the upper and the lower body. That's one of the 10 essentials of Tai Chi. The 10 essentials of Tai Chi, and basically, again, one of them is synchronize the upper and the lower body. But what that is meaning is another saying. It states that everything is initiated, or the roots is from the foot, and then it enters into the legs and emits from the legs, and then it is governed by the waist and manifests in the hands and the fingers. So it comes out of the hands and the fingers. So the energy initiates from the foot, it generates through the legs, and then the waist governs it, or the hips, hip flexor muscles. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. But the waist governs the energy as it comes from the bottom, and then it's unleashed out the top to the hands. So having these strong hips is very important within Tai Chi or within martial arts, having strong legs or hips and waist, because that's where the energy This is the axle. So we had the four extremities being, or the four wheels being the 2 arms, 2 legs. Those are the 4 wheels. If the axle ain't turning right, these legs ain't gonna move right, and the arms ain't gonna be moving right, because the hips, the waist, move with the shoulder. If you notice, every time I'm moving my waist, my shoulders move. Same thing with the hand. When we move the hand, the foot moves. When we move the elbow, the knee is going to move. That within Tai Chi is always going to be like that. The movement will always be simultaneous with the other functions of our extremities, and that keeps everything in sync as well. It also brings about a unification of both sides, becoming more ambidextrous and more left and right brain. You know what I mean? In that unification. All right, but so the lower and the upper bodies are synchronized. That's what we say. Now, dealing with these hips again, because this position helps strengthen most of the positions, the yoga and the Qigong, the Tai Chi, will all be, we're going to pretty much participate with strengthening this part of our body. And why is the hips so important? If you're thinking about what the hips are connected to, the hips are connected to the sacral region. Now, we see this right here, you know, sacral nerves, or the sacral plexus, right? The sacral plexus is a bundle of nerves that sits around down here connecting in the pelvis, but it deals with motor skills and things like that, digestion, a lot of different things, respiratories, all, and make so bad. This is also connected to the diaphragm or the pelvis. But these put up this picture here of the actual the muscles here. These it's called the hip flexor muscles, but also the psoas muscles, PSOAS. Now, it's kind of funny, but check out a lot of different things that be happening with our body in this region right here due to stress in this part of the body. It could be from doing too much exercise, like sit-ups. It could be from running too much. If it's dealing with exercise, could be from sitting too long, and that's the major cause of the issues of the psoas. Like we have nagging joint pains in the legs, you know what I'm saying, lower back or the hips, right there in that area. Not being comfortable when we walk. Bad posture is maybe due to weak psoas muscles. Not being able to sleep at night. Not having enough energy the next day. Constipation, circulatory problems, you know what I'm saying, because the lack of flow of blood, loss of sexual performance, because this is also the sacral region where that energy is being formulated at. And these type of things affect everyone, like all the time, every day, you know what I'm saying, especially after a certain age, and we've been sitting down a lot and not getting a lot of movement in that part of the body. The reason that these pains may occur, if you notice the red right here, these muscles, the psoas muscles, PSOAS, are connected to the upper part of the body and the lower part of the body. It's the only muscle in the body that connects both upper and lower. So again, like we were saying, synchronize the upper and lower by synchronizing the upper and lower, meaning everything that's on the lower half of our body is connected to the upper half of our body. It's synchronized. There is no disconnects, no separation. So like I was saying, when we go and open the door, we think we open the door with our hand, but the energy is initiated from our foot. So in actuality, when we go and twisting that door and we're thinking we're moving it initially with our hand physically, no, it's actually starting from the root or the energy, the spirit that's initiated from our foot. We had to move to the door, and then the foot says, okay, let's turn. And then the hand grabs the doorknob. Same thing with a pencil when we write and all that. You know, we tapping our foot and all that time. But, you know, stuff like that. Everything really initiates from the foot, but then it comes up through the leg. Out, it starts to generate the energy from the root or from the spirit, from the base up, and then out of the hand, and it's exuded, or the energy is unleashed and released from the hand, right? All right, so you see these psoas, and just saying the word, it's pronounced psoas, but it's spelled Psoas. But if you think about it, it's a lot of I guess you say innuendo or it insinuates psoas. It sounds particularly close to or phonetically close to a psoas. So if you think about it, like if we got a psoas, it might be because of our psoas. But that psoas is the muscle that's also, it's called the ilio-psoas muscle group, because the ileum is part of our stomach muscles right in here. Well, our large and small intestine muscles in there. But the whole group is called the ilio-psoas. But the psoas basically means loins. So the loins is the lower part of our body, dealing with the sacral energy and everything. But when we think about sacral energy, we also think about the nagas energy right there, the Ida Pangala. Ida Pangala. It go up, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that energy going up, spiraling, rising to the top. Watch the semi-twilight. So now we're going to go into these meditations. Like I said, I'm not going to do too much ranting tonight. We're going to get into the meditative processes and into these exercises. Like I said, get these actions going. I can talk all night. I try not to. Tomorrow I'm gonna fast. I'm gonna do a no talking day. No, it's not happening. I gotta teach tomorrow. I can see that now. Go to class and actually it'll be okay. Like my seafood was saying, try to get the movements in. Let's talking, and then after a while, you can bring it back, bridge the information about what the breath is doing in the movement of the form, even if it's just the qigong and all that. So the meditation. Again, we want to sit. If you're sitting in the chair comfortably, just however your posture is for the meditation, make sure you're comfortable. That's all. Make sure you can sit in it for a period of time, whatever it's going to be, but definitely make sure you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying, and you can allow that breath to work. You can allow it to move properly. Ain't nothing like going to work and one of your co-workers come in and they standing in the line at the concession or whatever, and you want that cup of coffee, and the clock say 1 minute before the whatever, and shift, and you ain't gonna get that coffee. So that obstruction or whatever, or that delay is gonna cause the energy not to get there properly. You dig what I'm saying? So you want to get your cup of coffee. Let's make sure we first relax, you know what I'm saying? No obstructions, no mental blockages. So gather yourself, make sure you're comfortable, you know what I'm saying? It's possible. The legs, if you got them in this position, they're going to naturally tense up. Don't put any intent or force, basically intent over force, don't put any force to the tension. Allow the natural tension to be there. That's going to happen. That's actually going to help strengthen your legs too and help with proper circulation. Now, you do want to stretch. We didn't stretch in. I didn't stretch in. You do want to stretch first so that the circulation, the flow will start properly. And you want to stretch out too on the way out. All right, so that the energy won't be stagnant that we have built up. That'll still be a flow, you know what I'm saying, to the reservoirs. All right, so when we begin the meditation, remember, stay relaxed, shoulders relaxed. So we're going to drop the shoulders as much as possible. I'm looking at the camera over here. I'm looking at the screen that's right here, and the camera's there. But okay, so again, we're going to do 3-part meditation, but we always stimulate the stem cells or whatnot. But basically, we're going to go through the 3 focal points: 1, 2, and 3. Pineal gland region, thymus gland region, and the prostate gland and ovaries of the woman, or the testicles and the uterus. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. 3 can be, if you want to, you can locate it an inch or inch below the belly button. Same thing. This is the sacral region right in here. This is where your 8 primordial cells are located, the blastula. So in the stem cell operation, this is where we stimulate those original cells so that they go in and they start forming the stem cells or whatever, to go in there and be that catalyst to affect change to the unhealthy cells, if there are any unhealthy cells in there. Remember, the stem cells have one task, and that is to fix. So if there's nothing to fix, then it just floats around and looks for something. So that's also why it's wise not to put medication, into our body, because medicine gives the signal to the cell that is no problem. So when the stem cell rides by and sees this medicine overlapping that degenerative cell, it looks at that degenerative cell, the stem cell looks at that degenerative cell like it has no job, and it keeps on moseying down the avenue of our circulatory system. So, clean out the medication and everything, and stem cell research will be very profitable or whatever. But a lot of people get that stem cell test and they're able to use it, the stem cells, because there's too much toxicity within the body, and when the stem cell goes in there to clean up or whatever, it sees that this toxicity is sitting over the unhealthy cells, saying that it's healthy, but it's just swept under the rug. So we definitely want to clean house first. So this will help by stimulating the stem cells, but then go in and move it through the body so that we purge out and form new cells. Remember, neurogenesis is 21 days. So the 21-day process of doing deep meditations and different type of breathing exercises will generate new cells within those 21 days. You know what I'm saying? So 3 weeks, and then 7 days, or 28 days basically, and 7 days of basically assessing or reassessing what has taken place within those 21. So 21 days of regenerating cells, or 28 days of regenerating cells, that's 14 and 14, the whole coming together, half and half coming together as one. You know what I'm saying? So that's the remembering of the physical and the spiritual as well. The 14 on the spiritual side, 14 on the physical side. Then bringing soul back together in the resurrection. That's left and right brain. All right. So stimulating the stem cells, that's that process. But so when we're going in, we're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is that Nitish, or the infinite divine breath, if you will. Shin again meaning cycle, also can mean infinite, and also can mean spirit. But in this case, I use it as cycle. So that divine cycle, or the infinite divine cycle. So we breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be very calm on the breathing. It's going to be normal abdominal breathing. So just breathe in through the nostrils and out the nostrils. Tongues at the roof of the mouth, behind the teeth. Rise up on the perineum. Again, that's going to help strengthen the psoas. The psoas is the two muscles right here, but they're connected to the pelvis floor, and it's also connected to the diaphragm. So being that interconnection of the lower and the upper, this is what is going to keep the strength in your lower back correct. You know what I'm saying? As well as bring about activities like sexual activity will be increased. Your parts of your lumbago will be increased. You will also have increased energy. It will help decrease in fat, because we are, you know what I'm saying, this muscle, the psoas muscle, actually is connected to our natural survival instinct. I'm going to bring it back up. Right here in the lower back, right here, you see. So if we're having any stiffness, any type of pain or issues in that part of our body, it's also connected to the hips though. So it could be in the sciatics, you know what I'm saying? But it's probably generated from the psoas. So if we got a psoas, it might be because of the psoas muscles. All right. As the body's fight or flight muscle, you gotta remember that this muscle tightens, like I was just saying about the perineum, we're going to slightly, subtly tighten it up. But in the fight or flight response, that muscle naturally tightens up. And if we're doing this continuously, what happens is cortisol, of course, is put into the body, and when it's not needed, that adrenaline or whatever, it actually turns into fat storing. It turns to it switches over to this fat storing mode. So if we want to lose weight, this is another reason why I'm doing this tonight. I saw a friend of mine the other night from high school. It was a lady friend. I actually talked to her in high school, a young goddess, and she asked me what I was doing. I said, taking it easy, which I didn't really mean like that. But she's like, I wish I could take it easy. I work it. I was like, well, I didn't mean like that. I teach Tai Chi, so this is what I explained to her. I said, I teach Tai Chi now, and what I mean by that in my Tai Chi mind is I'm just stay relaxed. I try not to, even through the stressors out the day, I try not to deliberately react to them in a manner to where I'm going to be over emotional or have some type of negative situation arise from whatever's going on physically outside of me. So by not reacting or participating with it, I don't become that situation. But she was like, well, I want to lose some weight and all this. And so that came up in the conversation as we were speaking, and I said something about dairy and how dairy and wheat and certain things like that she may be allergic to. And she said, she was like, look, and I mentioned certain few things about the dairy and all that. We came out of a mother or a woman out of a cow's butt. So being that we are human, it don't seem too natural that we partake in another animal's fluids, like to talk about like that. You know what I'm saying? But we started corresponding on that subject of weight loss, and I mentioned to her that certain things like dairy, as well as I didn't want to go into this right here though, but as well as just having certain emotional connections to memories that may cause us to indulge a little bit too much as far as eating is concerned. But then she just looked at me. She said, "So you telling me I'm allergic to dairy?" She said, "I got some." Well, she said, "I got some rice." No, she said, "Honey Smacks," and there's some milk at home right now. She said, "I'm going home and I'm gonna eat this last box of Honey Smacks tonight." And I looked at her, I laughed because she's joking. She likes to joke around. But anyway, I laughed at it, and I'm pretty sure she went home and ate that genetically modified or genetically engineered organism there. But I forewarned her, but she said it's gonna be a last one at any rate. That's one of the reasons why. But that process of perineum right there, basically, anytime we are in that fear state of mind, we produce by way of the adrenal glands, we produce the stress hormone, cortisol or whatever. But when these hormones are not used, and there is no anticipation of danger, there's nothing going on, no type of fight or flight happening, then that those hormones or that energy is stored as fat. So if we are gaining weight and we can't seem to get it off, it could be contributed to the psoas muscle. That psoas muscle. All right. Bulging belly, the sticking the belly out, because we're utilizing the muscle and it's tight. The psoas muscle is tight so much that it causes the lower back to basically arc. You know what I'm saying? So when the lower back curves, it pushes out the stomach. You know what I'm saying? Or the lower abdomen. So if the lower abdomen, or if the lower back or the psoas is tightened all the time from like sitting down or just from being in that fight or flight mode to where we tense up, because of whatever's going on, and there's nothing really going on, but this is a constant thing, like news is doing it, something in life might be doing, the person driving by in their car is going too fast, and we're in the fast lane, but they're going in the left lane, they passing us going 65, we're going 62. or whatever. You know what I'm saying? These things can generate, pain or issues within the psoas muscle because we're tightening it up. But when that pain is generated, it's also generating hormones or energies within the body and the nerves. The sacral nerves are located right here with the psoas. But so that Belgian belly can come from that because we're tightening up the psoas muscle too much, and it causes that lower back to start curving and pushing out the stomach. So that causes that what we call a pot belly or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So get that lower back strong. We're gonna go through these exercises first, but sitting may be the most harmful though. Sitting for too long, and we are in the sedentary society in America where we sit a lot. Most jobs, you get a job quick sitting down answering the phone, and they hire you. They like, oh yeah. I know it's compartmentalized or whatever. So the person hiring ain't thinking about, well, yeah, at least they in this building right over top of this computer sitting down for 8 hours a day. So they ain't thinking about that because they probably sitting there 8 hours too. They were 24 hours in a day, and if we sitting down for 8, maybe even more, then a lot of the energies is going to get in our legs and everything is going to get stagnant. That's that kidney energy again. Which we're speaking on. So these stretches, these meditations, also will help reduce fear because we're going to be dealing and pertaining to the essence. Essence, in truth, ain't got nothing to do with fear. It's love. You know what I mean? So the more we breathing in, the more love you're going to receive. The more we hold that breath or we ain't breathing, the more we ain't living. So that ain't love. You know what I'm saying? It has the potential of life within it, but it's not the true life. It's not really what's taking place. So, we do have to minimize certain things, like what we were saying earlier. But all right, let me get back to this main screen so we can see each other here. Okay, so I'm going to breathe in through those 3 spots. Let me see if I got something here for us too. I know I do. I do. Have some tones or something. I then have singing bells here. If I can locate them. Oh yeah. That may be in the other. Yeah, it's on my other external hard drive. I had to unplug that one, so. Pause yourself one moment. One of my favorites is 432. I don't see it here yet, as of yet. Yep. I should have just typed it in. All right. Oh, well, I might not be able to play this out loud like to talk about and have audio playback as far as with the mic. So, I'm not going to do it. We're just going to go ahead and keep it moving how we're moving. You know what I'm saying? The sound will come from your own inner voice. So we do these sub-vocal sounds if you want to have sounds in there, the arm, the down, but let's get these 3 spots, stimulate the energies within. So we go through these different aspects, these different forms and postures that we're going to participate with tonight. So we breathe in through these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're breathing in, fill up the cup, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. No pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's the infinite breath. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, relax from the shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Be sure that when the breath goes in, you are initiating and engaging on all 3 spots, all 3 focal points. Breathe out. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then rise up on the midriff. Don't allow this to sink down. Rise up here. Shoulders relaxed. Chest sunk in, not sticking out, sunk in. Shoulders rounded. While chest sinks in. Sinking, bringing up the midriff while sinking down into the waist and pulling up this part, on this part of our, right here in the center, pulling up like it's string attached. So that'll bring the chin. So breathing in. And now the music comes on. I thought I turned that off. Tricky computer. I'm gonna turn it down a little touch. So it won't be overpowering. Pour itself once again. Okay. So again, we breathe in, allow the lower abdomen to become large like the beach ball. So breathe in, lower abdomen becomes large. Breathe out, lower abdomen goes in. So we breathe in, make something big. You know what I'm saying? Breathe out. Make stomach go as flat as possible towards the spine. So it goes all the way in as much as possible without the back going down like that. Don't do all that. So just basically, you're going to breathe in, stomach large like a beach ball, breathe out, stomach goes in as close to the spine as possible. Don't do it to where you're uncomfortable again though. Do it to where you feel like it you know, you can handle it throughout the meditation. You might go in 10, 20, 30 minutes. It's good to do this for at least 10 minutes to really get it pumped and get that dynamic function going between that, you know what I'm saying, that centrifugal and centrifugal force, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's a very beneficial touch. Three spots. So after we've done this for 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, I prefer 10 minutes and maybe even longer. I don't normally count. I just continue to do it. But after we've done that a few times, then we bring our hands up over the apex, breathing in through the points, the mid points, 5 points per hand. So we breathe in, bring the hands up over the apex, breathe down. Into the center, forming the prayer hands, the Tafu hands, Buddha hands, or Tep hands. And when we get there, we unlock the heart with the key. Those 2 spots here. The thumbs. The base of the thumbs will be located right into the sternum. and it unlocks the thymus gland energy, but basically the heart energy, which is the meeting place of prostate energy, and the uterus energy, as well as the pineal gland energy, all unites here in the midway, at the where we have the thymus gland, but also the diaphragm and the heart, basically. I'm looking in that mirror. I mean, the camera right there. All right, so the hands are here. Now what we want to do is we're going to flex. Right? We're going to tighten up all the muscles. Just like isometrics. Basically, we're going to have our hands here. I normally start from the shoulders, well, from the hands to the shoulders. So I breathe in. There's 2 breaths. This is called Vase breathing, because it's going to look like a vase. One circle here, then the wider circle here, then the wider circle here. It's almost like a snowman as well, or Nagas. So when we breathe in here, we breathe in, tighten up the muscles. See, you tighten up my arm muscles. From there, shoulders. From there, the ribs, the muscles right there in the abs. And then from the abs, the thighs, and then tighten up the feet. And then go back in. After all that's tightened, take another breath while continuing to hold that breath. All right, so we got 2 breaths. Now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to come back to the heart and breathe out once out the nose. Then we're going to breathe back in, take another sniff. We're going to take a sip. And then we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4. From here, we go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then when we breathe out a very powerful, long shh. Damn, my bad. Shh. Allow those energies to rise back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes again, breathe in, tighten up. When all the muscles are tightened, breathe in again. Now, as we hold that breath, we're going to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then bring it back up to the heart. Breathe out just a little bit. Now we're going to take another sip. Tighten, make sure the muscles still tight, and we go back from here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we get there, we go back up all the way and allow the energy to go back up to what is called the diamond palace. And when it gets to the diamond palace, make sure the back is straight. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it will be like in real time without speaking. Oh, forgive me. So we breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring it up to the heart. Breathe out. When we breathe out that, and we breathe back in. So we breathe out, then breathe back in. We're going to rotate 3 times counterclockwise. So it would be 1, 2, 3. And then make sure we're still tight. So 1, 2, 3. We breathe out, breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Actually, and then breathe in. So I'm used to doing it just in rotation without speaking on it. So we're going to again breathe in, tighten up, all the muscles tighten, breathe in again, go through those 3 focal points, 1, 2, 3, bring it back up to the heart, breathe out. So you go 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, opposite direction to breathe back in, tighten up all the muscles. Go back in, 1, 2, 3, back to the bottom, then come back up to the diamond palace, pineal gland, and breathe out, and relax all the muscles. Shit. That's how the energy is going to relate to you in your reaction once it starts going through the body like that. It's called the Shakti shake. But basically, the cerebral spinal fluid, just like having orgasm, it just hits the pineal gland again, and it starts. It gives the back. That's why it's good to sit in this position if you're going into deep meditations and practice it that way, because that energy can throw you off of your off the chair, whatever. If you're sitting in the chair, this way you stay locked into it, and it won't move as much. So breathing in, breathing out. You do this twice more.
Craft coffee enthusiasts are always searching for the best tasting coffee possible.
Okay, coffee. You can get that energy, huh? Let's go ahead.
At every stage, and
It has commercials. That's what's up. 432 destroys unconscious blockages and fear. There you go, sister. 432. Get that hertz going with the that meditation, the inner smile meditation, and it could help alleviate some of those fears that we have acquired in our personality. Remember that it's not you anyway, it's just the personality. Personality is a construct. The true you is the superhero. Well, you can defeated all that stuff anyway, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it seems like it's slow and rigid. So that's the first part of the meditation. I know we're talking through it, and normally we're not going to be talking or stopping, no stops, no breaks, so but always, that's how I stimulate the energy first. I go in, then after I do this a few times, like 3 times, 4 times, normally about 3 to 4 times I do that. Breathe in again. It depended on the day and how I feel. That's when I start my meditation. So this meditation that we're doing, or exercise, Nagam, this inner skilling of the breath, or this inner work that we're doing, like I said, it's something that I learned from Dr. Aline. It's going to be stimulating those 3 spots again: the pineal gland region, thymus gland region, and the prostate of men, the uterus of women. So these 3 glands, we're going to be stimulating those energies within it to help formulate and hold this thing together, but also as within, so without, as above, so below. So by producing strength and health in our inner being, it produces strength and health in our outer being, in our manifestation. Basically in Tai Chi, they say that the Tai Chi practitioner works from inner to out, from soft to hard. So basically what that means is we generate strength within our inner organs, because the organs are muscles too, that will help generate the strength in our external properties. They say that the arms of a Tai Chi practitioner that has practiced for years and years, a master, is an arm that feels like silk wrapped over iron. So the softness is pretty much disguised, well, it's the disguise over the richness or the strength, the power that's residing within of the inner martial arts, and how it moves fluidly, but in that fluidness, that water, it can be very dynamic and forceful, as far as whatever it is in that martial arts. So in the meditation as well, the movement is there, but it's more of in a transitory, peaceful state versus a transitory going into aggressive type of mannerism. But okay, so after that, I come in right here and we go into those 3 spots. Not to get too long with it. So normally I just fold my hands over and it starts at we start here because we already had our hands at the heart. Heart energy is always best to unlock first, because if we start from here and anything occurs as we rise, we have the potential to fall right back to where we started from. So it's wise to start from the heart, where everything generates from. A majority of the energy from the external reality is actually going into our heart region. You know, even in our dream state, when we're noticing in our dreams, we're not looking out the eye, physical eyes, we're looking out the mind's eye, which is really located here, not here. So as we walk in life, we're thinking we're locating our energies from the visuals of reality externally into our think tank by way of the eyes, but really is heartfelt information. And in our reactions, it should be heartfelt reactions, but since there's a lot of fear going on out here, it's more based on fear and what's going on in our amygdala, if you will, but in our brain, basically. So the first thing we do is heart. Then we're gonna, from here, we fold the hands down, place them over the belly button, and had a little apex, a little, you know, it's like the sun and the moon mudra. And we're gonna breathe in through the nose. So we breathe in, say 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Large abdomen. Then we're going to take 2 sips in the mouth. As we take the 2 sips, we lean forward. As we lean forward, we go all the way down as much as as we can. And we're going to hold it for 12 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When we come up, we're going to breathe out. When we breathe out, teeth closed, tongues at the roof of the mouth, like the B sound. It's going to stimulate the sacral energies. You know what I'm saying? This is also going to help stretch and loosen up those energies within the psoas muscle. You see what I'm saying? It's because that's that lower back right there, connected to the hips right here, going down and coming back up. Alright, so again, do this 4 times. Each one will be 4 times. So we breathe in through the nose. 4, 5, 6. Breathe in twice. Then we bend over, lean over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And again, move the energy back up. See the energy going up. Alright, once again. Once more. Now we're going to the heart region. So we breathe in. Breathe out as the hands float down to the heart region, the solar plexus. Now here, I rub my hands together with the palms. Then, same thing, we're gonna place our hands just like they was on our stomach, gonna place them on the heart region. Right to the solar plexus part cell. I'm drinking, talking. Okay, so breathe in. We're gonna hold the breath for 30 seconds. And stay relaxed. Or 30 heartbeats. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. On the 30, breathe out ha. Make the abdomen go as tight as possible to the spine. I really see that nagas flowing. See that spiral going up, you know what I'm saying? So once again, so it's here. Breathe in. Hold for 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. One more. Or two more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Alright, from here, after we did that 4 times, we've done that 4 times. Breathe in again. Bring the energy into the centers of your hands. Breathe out. As you come to the solar plexus. Now we're going to do reverse nostril breathing. So first thing first, we're here. Just bring your left hand down to your lap and just rest it in your lap. You know what I'm saying? Basically, this is fire over water. The water. It's the fire, the flame, fire over water. But basically, what you want to do here, you're going to clear our right nostril, our left nostril by holding down the right nostril with our thumb. So we do basically like that. And we're going to blow out any excess mucus. You know, just get it out there if there's anything in there. It should be pretty clear patch like that. Then we go to the right nostril by closing off the left with our index finger. Blow that one. Get everything out of there. If there's anything in there. So, alright, now we go back to the right nostril, close it off with the left thumb. We put our index finger right here in the apex, the center in between our eyebrows, the eyebrow region. This is the pituitary pineal gland region, you know, mind's eye, whatnot, third eye, first eye. So we're going to have the index finger there, keep the correct posture and everything. We're going to hold down the right nostril with the thumb. We're going to breathe in 7 seconds. Then we're going to close off the left nostril with the middle finger of the right hand, and we're going to hold for 7 seconds. And then we're going to breathe out the opposite nostril, reverse with opposite, alternate nostril breathing. We're going to breathe out the left nostril 7 seconds. Now we're going to do the same thing. Now we breathe in the right nostril 7. Hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going, while it's closed off, we're going to breathe out. We breathe in, close off. Then we're going to breathe out the left nostril. Open up the left nostril and breathe out of that. Now we rest 7 seconds. And breathe in again 7 seconds for the left nostril. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Hold for 7 seconds. And breathe out for 7 seconds. The opposite nostril, the alternate nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril now after we rest for 7 seconds. Breathe in through the through the right nostril. Very subtly, very calmly. Hold for 7. And breathe out the left nostril for 7 seconds. Allow the abdomen to go towards the spine. Relax for 7 seconds. Once again. Hold for 7. Close it off the left nostril. And breathe out for 7, opening up the right nostril. And relax for 7. Do that 4 times. One pass will be left and right. So that'll be 1. Then you do left and right again. That'll be 2, left and right. 3, left and right. 4. It end on the right. Then after we ended on the right, we blew out. Bring both hands back down to the sun, moon, mudra. And then we just relax here. And we go back into the Natish-Shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's very similar to the microcosmic or the macrocosmic orbit. It's basically the same thing. The movement of the microcosmic orbit isn't in actuality necessarily a circle. It's basically a line. One going up, one going down. But it's just continuous flow. Back and forth. So it seems it could be formed into a circle as we looking at it. But one is going in the opposite direction of the other. So it basically would be like see. Alright. So that's the 3-part meditation. Now we're going to go into the 3-part postures within Watch the Sing Twi. And again, stretch out. We didn't stretch in, but we're definitely going to stretch out on the way getting up. I think. Oh yeah, I've been drinking. It's always wise not to partake in any fluids or food items prior to meditation or qigong or tai chi, because you're stimulating energies in the body, fluids, when we are doing this. And also you don't want anything going on with the digestive system or whatever while performing meditation, because you might have to gas or something. You don't want to be doing all that. Like now I have to go take care of my business real quick, so I'm gonna take a quick pause break, if you will, and after these messages, you already know. We'll be right back. Okay. Back up here. All right. Now we do some Tuezday. Watch the Tuezday. The energy that rises to the top and unifies both sides. The upper and lower. Both sides. Unifies the upper and lower. Again, synchronize the upper and lower. So in that synchronicity, what muscles is it connected to? The psoas muscle, or the PSOAS muscle. And this muscle is very important. It's located right here, but it's connected from here all the way down. Again, if you notice the picture, I put my gloves on for the little yoga we're about to do. I got my yoga mats right here. You can't really see them, but they are on the floor. I'm gonna try to get it to where you can see my feet at least. One of the postures, the shoe posture. Shoe posture. My shoes. Out the way there. Alright, so the first posture was in the 15, basically in the storyline. That was when we was in the meditative mode. So the 15 means basically beautiful, complete. Nefir meaning beautiful, 10 meaning complete. So the beautiful, complete. And in that meditative process, one of the things that we do is we might hold our hand in the wisdom, but we put the finger over the mouth. So we were doing it like this though, you know what I'm saying? But the finger over the mouth means, it's a symbol. It doesn't mean be quiet. Basically it means, it's an old saying, it's a saying, a Kemetic saying, another Kemetic saying is, what the house of Natir, just like much of, is talking. What that's talking about is the house of Natir, or the spirit, when it is activating and actualizing properly, is going to be through the deep meditative processes or whatever. So the house of Natir means divine. The divine house is the all. But as it travels and goes, into this house, this Natir divine, because it's the all. What it dislikes much of is the chatterbox or the overthinking mind. So to alleviate that, the mindfulness comes in, and that's where, as it's helped me, the Tai Chi, the slow moving, seeing things for what it really is, not just going into, there's a fly! Ah! There's a spider! Ah! Kill it! Ah! Nah, I'm just saying, what I'm saying? How people reacting or overreacting to something that has none. You see a snake, you automatically want to cut the head off because somebody told them, there's a snake. I'm afraid of snakes. Remember that thing in the Bible? They called him Satan. It was a snake. It made Eve, but we see an 8-legged spider, arachnid, and we automatically think this thing is the most poisonous. A black mamba or something, I don't know. It's like recluse if we're talking about spiders, but brown recluse. But we thinking automatically that this thing is out to get us, like to talk about. We chasing, or we running from ourselves. That bear that's chasing us. Remember, false experiences appearing real. That F can be turned to a B if you wanted to, and that false experience is that bear, that animal. So again, we're going to be strengthening up these parts of our body, and in doing so, we're going to strengthen up parts of our brain. Everything's interconnected. There ain't no disconnects. Everything is together. There is no separation. Once we start separating one thing from another thing, that diversity, what we call diversity, turns into complications because of confusion. Because one set over here, be like, I thought it was a tomato. But you're a green tomato, but you're a tomato, but you're green. I thought it was a tomato. No, you're a green tomato. You gotta clarify that, right? Alright. So this first posture from the 15 is the meditative posture again. With the house of Natir, just like much of this chatterbox is too much talking. Speaking, meaning that the meditative aspect of life is the best way to bring about that divine divine properties, divine life within you. Alright, so let's talk. Talk when it's necessary, when there is purpose. So the first move, the first posture, I'm gonna turn this way, is shoe. I mean, outside of the 15 is noon. Noon meaning primeval waters. How we go into noon, I'm gonna step up here, get on both mats. Can you see my feet like to talk about? Can you see my feet? I can't see my feet, can't see my feet. Let me move the camera a little bit. Let's see if we can get a better angle on there on them toes there. Let's see what's happening. That's all feet. But the first posture is, okay, yeah, I'm going to squat down. So. I'm somewhat of an OCD type cat. Sometimes y'all gotta forgive me. Everybody be telling me that. I don't know if it's OCD or I'm just over attentive to how things are lined up around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very geometrical, mathematical about stuff at times. Alright. Then it seems to work out. Even this mat here, if you notice it has, you know, certain diagrams on it. But alright, so the first one is new. You can't see me yet. The head cut off right now, but you know the body still doing the thing. Oh, let me stop. Alright, so first thing, we bring our hands up. This is going from the 15 to 15. This is the creation part of the storyline. So in creation, the 15 meaning beautiful, complete. That's creation. So we breathe in through the hands, come down to the sternum, breathing out. Now we do the butterfly. But we open up. Make sure we keep the back straight on each turn of the feet. So we're here, straighten up the back. Here, straighten up the back. Here, straighten up the back. Now, as we get to a wide stance, like a horse stance, the back is still straight. We sink down, keeping the back as straight as possible. And then we're going to allow the knees to go over the toes. It's not like a horse stance. Horse stance, you know, back is straight. Knees are not going to go over the toes. They're going to be lined up with the toes and the back straight. On this one, we're going to go right here at the knees, bend slightly forward, and open up the quad, or open up the hips. This is strengthening the thighs, well, the thighs here, the hips, as well as that psoas muscle that's connected to the hips and goes down to the sciatic. This will help strengthen that and stretch it to a certain degree. It's also going to help strengthen and loosen up. It's going to help with digestion. It's going to help with respiratory function as well. And we'll get to a wide stance. Start sinking down. When you sink down, place your elbows inside the creases of your knees. When you get here, lean forward slightly while breathing in. This is the childbirth posture yoga as well. This is how women in ancient Africa, as well as today, still give natural birth. Up against a tree or at home or something, they will squat down like this. This is also good for a woman in the third trimester. Get into this posture and practice this. It will help alleviate some of the issues of pain in the childbirth. But if you have varicose veins or hemorrhoids, it's not wise to do this. All right, so you breathe in, you breathe out, you stretch a little bit. That means just move the elbows in. So breathe in, breathe out. On the third one, breathe in. We're going to float our hands over and push up. No, you can't see me. So the hands will go flat. That was Nupu. Well, I am Noon, or just say Noon, but basically Nupu or Ya Noon. Also a Nuke. So Ya Noon or Yanin is basically one of the deities within Within Hebrew, it's the name of Melchizedek, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken though. Alright, so, but we're right here. This is now Ra, the sun, Geb here, and Nut, the sky. So we have the three aspects of creation: Ra, Geb, and Nut, the sky, the stars. And we're holding it all up with our hands. We have the weight of the universe on our shoulders, right? Atlas right here. So be very attentive where your knees are. We're going to be holding this breath here. When we come from here, we're here. We're going to breathe in, float the hands over and up as we breathe out. As we hold the breath. So we hold the breath here in this posture. Knees will be over the ankles. Not going in like this, not going too far out like that, but the knees will be directly lined up with your ankles while your hands, not putting force into the wrists, but you want your wrists to float back like you're holding something in them. So we hold that breath. We see Ra, Nupu Ra. We see Geb, I am the earth. Then we see Nut, I am the sky, and I am the stars. So then we breathe out and come back to center. And it should be somewhat lined up in the center of your mat. That's why I say, I like to have diagrams on my mat so I can see where my feet are, and it's easier to stay aligned with your spine, as well, so the energy will move properly. So here we've completed that posture. Now we go into Shu posture. Shu is the breath. So we've collectively gathered the energies of creation through that 15, and then we went through the last posture of Nut, the primeval waters, to give birth now to the breath, to Shu. So the primeval waters breathes out the life of Shu that will bring about Kapada or Ra, Timra, that will be next in the journey of Ra. So here we go to Shu. This is also called the complete breath. So we have our hands here. We're going to breathe in as they float down. We start breathing in. And we're going to hold that breath as we rise up on the toes. We're going to look up at our hands. I don't know if you can see me completely. No, let me fix the camera. That's right. All right. So we're right here. We're right here. So the hands float down. Start to breathe in. Looking at our hands from your peripherals. Breathe in. Hold the breath as the hands form a pyramid. We're going to come up on our toes. Lift up. Hold the breath here. The breath will be retained. 6 seconds. Then we're going to breathe out very slowly as the hands float down. And do this a few times. Breathe in. You really want to get the exercise in, do it, 36, 48, I might not do it but 10 times. Breathe out. But what's happening is called a complete breath because you're going to be massaging and giving your entire physical structure a breath and a stretch, including your organs. When we have our hands up here and we hold the breath, we are dislodging the organs from this natural position for just a moment, and when we breathe out and we come back down on the diaphragm, they move back into their natural position, and it rejuvenates it by giving it a good, clean massage. Ain't nothing like stagnation. If you ain't moving the energy, then the energy gets stagnant. So sometimes we have to actually participate with the organ system in certain exercises to move that energy that's within it. And this is also stretching the psoas. Very important muscle. Again, connected to all this, and a lot of our difficulties in life may be contributed just to weak back muscles. What they say about a weak spine, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have a strong back in life, literally and otherwise. So the hands come up, hold the breath. Hands come down, release the breath. One more. Holding the breath. Really feel the stretch here in the calves, well, from the toes all the way up. It's complete breath, complete stretch from the toes all the way up to your fingertips. Really pull up when you hold that breath and relax when you're coming down. So as you go up, breathing in, know that you must engage upon the muscles and pull on the fascia. And that will help loosen up that anything that's putrid within the minute structure of our cells. The fascia again is the tissue that connects the tissue. Basically, it's the tissue that's connecting the muscles, ligaments, skin, everything else, organs together and keeping it as one unit in the body. But the fascia is also, they call it sinews. You look at it like it's a net. All over the body, the fissures of the body, those little cracks and stuff that you look at and stuff, that's basically the fascia physically, you know what I'm saying, as it intertwines and connects all over. So this stretches the fascia. That's the second one. So the first one, we could say it's 4 because we start with the 15, that's the meditation, or, but those 3 meditations going from, and then off to the nostril breathing, so we do lower abdomen, bellows breathing. It's somewhat similar to bellows breathing, but we're not going to be doing that. We're just basically 2 sips, one in, then another 2 sips, and then hold for 12 seconds and breathe out. Alright, then the second one's at the heart region. You stimulate the energy in the palms, warm them up, hold for 30 seconds. That's good. That one is very good for cold outside, when it's cold. Rubbing your hands together, put it on the heart, see the energy. Hold your breath for a few seconds alone will stimulate heat in the body in the winter time. If you hold your breath for a few minutes, few seconds. Alright, so the 5th Tim, going to noon, and then into Shu. Now the last one is the journey of Ra. It's a little bit longer. I don't know how to do it from a different angle. But basically, the journey of Ra, sun salutation. We're going to do the modified version, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Watch the semi-twilight. But it starts out the same way. We're going to open up into the prayer hands, top foot. Breathe out. Now we're going to go. This is also in creation. I'm going to go to the side. So breathe in, breathe out, sink down into it, relax everything, keep the back straight though. So this is connecting Geb and Nu. This is feminine and masculine energy, yin and yang, fire and water, coming together, relaxing and unifying together as one, reconciling, understanding. 1, 2, and 3. So from here we go into Capri, creation. So the unity comes in, we breathe in. Creation is a back bend, so the hands are going to stay in this position, in pyramid, well, as they float from here. So the hands, we breathe in. As we start going back into Kapata, we start to open up into a circle, and this is the sun. Kapata means created, the sun, or the creator. So the hands from here, so we get a better picture. Breathing out. Breathe in. Circle the hands back over and up, over the apex, and breathe out as it comes back to the sternum. So again, I'm going to do it from the side of the ankle. Stay relaxed. This is the opening of journey broad. Breathe in. Collecting the Geb and Nuke forces, the masculine and feminine forces, cosmic forces. Then breathe. Breathe out as the hands come down, breathe in. As the hands start to move back, as you bend backwards, they're going to go in from the pyramid, or triangle, into a circle. Then when you get here, slow them down, relax, and stretch a little bit more. Breathing out. Breathe in, and stretch a little bit more. Keep the hands and wrists relaxed. Then breathe in. Float your hands back up. That stretches the cervical all the way down to the sacral or the coccygeal vertebrae. So you're getting your whole vertebrae stretched, including the psoas muscle. See? Getting that good stretch and opening up that area. Oh, we ain't coming out of position though. Remember, stay in your position. We're not done. So we come here after we come back. We automatically start to dive. Go down. Don't necessarily go all the way into a forward bend or a forward stretch. Just float your arms down and be very relaxed within your stretch. So the hands come down and they just float. Okay. So when we was here, after we finish and we come back to where our hands are coming from here and coming over, we automatically go down and just stretch forward. Do it from the front view. So it's right here. Breathing in, breathing out. And relax. Then tilt your head down towards where the chin is towards the chest. And place your hands behind the legs in the X. Breathe in and breathe out as you stretch. Keep a little bend in the knees. Use your arms to stretch closer by bringing your legs towards your head, towards your face. Then you can stretch up. It's really stretch this part. You'll feel it in that part of your back, your psoas muscles again, right here. This will strengthen it. Yoga is actually the most ancient exercise. You will define and tone your muscles a lot faster with these stretches than lifting weights. Now from there, we turn back this way. After we've had our hands there for a few times, breathe in and out 3 times doing this. We're going to place our hands in front of us with the pyramid again. Staying in that position. I know I'm moving all around. You won't be doing all right. Just stay on the mat wherever you're at, you know. Alright, so the hands like this. They're going to go right where your feet at. Your feet are doing the same thing. You may not be able to see them. Right here. Let's see if I can get it. You can't see them. Okay. So we came down. We like this. Then we float very slowly, very subtly. We float our hands around to the front and we place them down in front of our feet, right where the V is formed. We put the pyramid on top. Now we have a Merkaba. We got the CHIA going on. So we're going to gaze down into it, breathing in and breathing out. Now place your head at your knees. Sort of like trying to press down on the earth. You push up into your shoulders while pressing down on your knees, your legs into the earth with your feet. Breathe in, breathe out and stretch. Breathe in, breathe out and stretch. Breathe in, breathe out and stretch. Do that 3 times. Then come back up, look, breathe in. Turn your hip to your right hand side and go where you are. You know, somebody, you know, it's going to take a few minutes to get into the stretch to where it's deep like this, but if you're right here and you can stretch right there. If you can only reach right here on the front, so stretch wherever you are. Don't try to do a hard stretch, deep stretch, if you can't get down deep into it in that manner. So breathe in. The head goes behind the knee on that side as you stretch. So you breathe in, stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, stretch. One more, breathe in, breathe out, stretch. As you breathe in the last one, breathe out, come around to the left side and breathe out. And place the hands there. Head behind the knee, breathe in, stretch, breathe in, stretch, breathe in, and breathe out as you stretch. On every exhalation is where the stretch is. Then you float back to the front. The hands are going to go in a square shape. I usually line up my thumb right there with it's usually circles or something that I can line up with, but right there with my third toe. From here, move back. Oh yeah, I'm serious. Alright, so from here, move my feet to where, this is how I do it. I move my feet to where they're straight. Then I float it back to the dot on my mat that corresponds to the second dot. My thumbs will be at the third dot on both sides. And my knee. And then here again, psoas muscle. Right in here. So we're going to breathe in. Head is going to be going forward. And we're going to breathe out as we stretch. Breathe in. Large abdomen. Breathe out as you stretch into it. So the stretch, basically just lunging forward. Breathe in once again. Breathe out. Now we're going to bring this foot, the left foot. Some people will come back up here. Go into the left foot. This is how, modified, I guess, again. So, I got these socks on. So, we go here. Make sure the hands are flat, even. Chin is at the chest. This is the pyramid pose, or mirror. Also the mountain pose. You want to be very subtle. No rigid movements, no over movements. Try to just stay within the flow of your posture. So breathe in. Breathe out as you stretch. Breathe in. Large abdomen. Breathe out as you stretch. Breathe in. Again, large abdomen. Breathe out. Now breathe in. We're going to go into shell kick. We're going to flatten the feet out as the body comes up and then sinks down. Now we're going to breathe in, come up. We're going to raise up on the lower back while the feet are flat. Stick the tongue out, the wrists come back. The fingers are going to be open like claws. And this is Wajette, actually Wajette. Then breathe out. Once more. One more. Breathe in. Rotate the shoulders back. Breathe out. And come back on the toes and come up into the plank position, like a push-up. Then we're going to bring the right foot up, the opposite foot, to that fourth dot. By the hand will be at, to that, the fourth dot by the hand, the thumb is at the third dot. So we breathe in again here. Well, I don't know if you have dots on your mat, but it basically be about 7 inches away. But you know, you get used to the alignment of your own personal space. So breathe in, breathe out as you stretch forward. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Moving kind of fast through it, but bear with me. Take your time, breathe in. Now we're going to come up very subtly. Sink down, come back to your mystic pyramid, to your triangles with your hands. Place them in that point of your feet. Right here like that. Breathe in. Breathe out, stretch down. Breathe in. Once again. Breathe in. And as you rise, you go from the evening deity of Ra to Kapara again. Well, the daytime deity is Ra. Actually, that's Atum. And place the sun back in the sky in the midday evening. Breathe in and breathe out. Let the hands come in. So when we came back up, breathe out and the hands flow back down to the apex, to the heart region. Okay, so, let's see. The opening part, just the feminine and masculine energies coming together. It's Kapara, placing the sun in the morning sky, Kapara the morning sun, coming back over to Newt and Gil meeting. Then we go through the actual journey of the sun of Ra with the midday being Ra, from the morning to midday Ra. Then we go into Aten, the afternoon, and then the evening being Kanun. So Kanun, so this is Newt. All that, you know what I'm saying? Then we go into, of course, Newt, the sky. Also, that's pyramid, but that's the Newt, you know what I'm saying, symbol. Or Mer as well. But then after that, come back, go to, not Self-Care, but Wajet. Wajet is the energy that rises to the top again. Wajet, Simtwai. So the energy going like this. Again, we're stretching the psoas again. Psoas muscles, getting that thing good connection. The strength for y'all getting the strength for that connection to be uplifted or upgraded a little something. Alright, so then after the Wajet, the energy is flowing and coming up through, going back to the top. Then we have Kanun. So we come up, leg, go back. After we do this the last time, we come up and place the sun back into the sky. Noon at the evening day, that's Kanun, and then we come back down, floating after floating our hands back to the center. Now we're going back to Kapara, or creation, and go back to the masculine and feminine energies. From here, we'll go onto the floor and we start doing leg stretches and processing, going into the transitionary state. This is creation. So creation is like, getting everything popping. You're getting all the fluids flowing through the body, through the first and second stages or trimesters, and then into the third trimester where the legs, arms, and all that's going to be popping off in the next section of the creation process. All right, so that's the yoga. That's the semi-Tuezday. Those 3 for the night. Well, 4 because with the meditation and Nefertim. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it'll be the same thing as what we was doing in meditation, but our right hand will be like this. It's different meditations you can use. Meditation called pick the booger. Nah, it's meditation. Bite the fingernail. Alright, so that is our yoga for the night. Now we do the Qigong. The Qigong that we're gonna do is one of my things in class. I always teach the younger students, to not use their hands to get up. So we had to develop ways to use our feet and legs. There's different ways, you know what I'm saying? Some of them are kind of simple, but we don't use our hands to get up or sit down. So another way to stand up is like this. That's fairly simple. Another way to sit down, of course, is basically the same way we split up, but you just place your leg back here. Then put your shoulders down. Lift up. That's also going to help strengthen your legs, you know what I'm saying, over time. Legs are very important. You know, everybody want to work on the body, get strong, you know, and all that good. That's good, but what's carrying you in life? You know, you got to pick up stuff, I know that. But we sit down so much, we forget that, you know, legs are valuable. Legs get weak, that means other things up here are going to be like, oh, the legs weak, so it's going to start sinking down. So then we're going to be walking around, oh boy, let me get that cane. So let's just keep these legs strong by just doing certain things. The more you do stuff, the easier it is to do it. So once you stop doing certain things, it's hard to get back to the point that we were when we was doing it initially. So that's, you know, it was something Jackie Chan said. Jay asked Jackie Chan, said, "You 65 years old, how you still doing all these stunts and moving around like that?" He replied with, well, basically, it's I know he was like he knew the basic training. He had the fundamental physical applications and postures and everything learned through martial arts and theater and everything that he went through, basically to get to the point that he is and to where he can still do those things. So if you stay active in whatever you do, you know what I'm saying, and continuously do it, and it's a part of your day-to-day or week or whatever, it's a lot easier to do those things. And not only that, you basically keep that strength and also build that strength. It's also going to help elevate that strength. So with Qigong initiates inner strength to build up external strength. That is one process of it. That's the Tai Chi way. You know, then you have the martial way, which would be going from hard to soft. Basically, martial training is training the external muscles first and then going into the internal workings. I deal with both of them, but basically I started out with Tai Chi, inner martial arts, so that's what I participate with it all day long. It's part of my life, part of our life in general. Everything that we do is going to be a give and take type of thing, you know what I'm saying? But when we can correspond and unify with the energies that we are, who we are, as far as light beings or whatever, energy beings, intelligent beings, aware conscious beings, then when we participate with it in that manner, information is going to be completely different from the same day-to-day, you know, blown up out of proportion type of dialogue that we do receive out here. Y'all might not saw that, because whatever, I don't know, maybe you did, but I just seen like a light, just a bright light just went right by me. And it was like glowing. Maybe I'll play it back later on and it won't be there, it might be there, I don't know, maybe nobody just pulled up, but I just saw like a string light, it might have been like this long, and it moved just like that, and disappeared. Okay. Alright, so that was the meditation. That's the meditation in the yoga, semi-Tuezday, watch the semi-Tuezday now, the Qigong. The Qigong, we're going to do this again. We're going to do 3 parts of the 8 standing postures of longevity. This longevity is meaning basically, you know, good health and longevity. Every movement is going to be participating with the organ system. I think the question was, how can we strengthen it? You may have been talking about the kidneys. You may have been talking about the psoas muscles. Regardless, they're all in the same region. And every time we move, we are affecting every part of the body. And just like every time something is going on in the universe is affecting the whole universe. There is no disconnect. Everything is simultaneously moving together in unison and harmony. They say the Tai Chi body moves as one. So every time, like I said, when the foot moves, the hand moves. So when we move out the foot, the hand moves as well. When we circle around with the elbows, the knee moves as well. When we initiate, roll back and push with the shoulders, the hips move as well. You know what I'm saying? So the shoulders are moving, the hips are moving. Same thing. When the elbow moves, foot moves. When the elbow moves, the knee is moving. When the hand is moving, the foot is moving. So that coordinates a unified flow of the energy on both realms, on both sides. So it won't be any disconnects as you move through the watery aspects of Tai Chi form. See that roll back, see the hips, you're sinking in 2, and you roll back, and you push, and you release. And you see how my elbows move with the knees, the hands move with the feet. The feet is initiating everything. So the feet, again, like going to open the door, you know what I'm saying, go open that door, first thing is the foot. So from the foot, the energy then moves through the leg, up and through the leg, and then power is generated through the movement and action of the hips, the waist, then is generated or thrown out of the fingers and the hand. So it's like, just like in boxing, like where the punch comes from, the back leg. You know what I'm saying? So the back, that leg is initiating the punch. See what I'm saying? So where the punch is coming from ain't really what we're looking at. It's the energy. And it should be initiated way before we think about the energy of the foot. It's just going to be a natural flow anyway. So the Qigongs we're going to stimulate the inner workings of the body as well, but also the physical. We're going to do the spiritual first, or the inner side first, with the 8 standing postures, the first 3. The first one, first of all, you know, we got to find our center. They say it takes 8.5 seconds, or 8.5 minutes actually, to go from one train of thought to another train of thought. So I normally stand like this, like I always say, about a minute. I'm not going to stand here for 8 minutes tonight like that. Normally I do it for a minute in the morning to clear my mind. It's a good standing posture. Also posture. Matara, like the brother was speaking on, it's Matara, standing posture. This helps with strengthening the legs, but you want to be relaxed in your lower body. You don't want to tense up the muscles. It's going to naturally tense once you sink down at 1 inch to 2 inches, 1 inch to 1.5 inches in your knees. It's going to naturally tense up the thighs. You don't want to force anything, because that's going to put stress on the psoas muscles again. So you want to stay relaxed in this area of the body on the first posture. So relax, chest sunk in, not too far, but as soon as the chest sinks in, it's naturally going to cause the coccyx to go forward. So we pull up on the back by sinking in the chest, and you breathe out, breathe in through the abdomen, and breathe out. So that's the first posture. So we stand here first, and we find our center. And then we open up with our right foot. So the right foot, the big toe is going to come out. We're going to bring out our right foot with our right hand. So the right hand is going to float up. Both hands are going to float up like we're going to come all the way up, but we're just going to float up to the chin region. And as it floats up to the chin, we're going to bring out the right toe, and we're going to press down the right big toe. So it'll be like, slowly, it'll be like, breathe in. We're going to come up on the toe, breathe out. As the big toe comes out, shoulder width apart on the right foot, shoulder width apart, and they're going to be parallel. Okay, it's 3 points that we need to put focus on with our feet. These 3 points. I'll bring up the picture. These are the 3 points. All right, so these are 3 points. My bad. One will be the big toe. The other will be right there at the ball of the foot, right under the big toe, in the inside of the foot, right there. You know what I'm saying, where the arc is, and then one will be at the heel of the foot, right below the young queen or the bubbling springs. So you have one at the big toe, one at the ball of the foot, and one at the heel of the toe. These 3 points are where we're going to locate our weight at and distribute a majority of the energy from these points. The active energy will be at the big toe and that spot right there at the ball of the foot. Those are going to activate the spiraling aspect or the spiraling mode of the energy from the root of our foot up into the legs, going into the sacral region, the nerves, sacral nerves, sacral plexus, then into the solar plexus, then into the pineal gland and pituitary regions. All right, so this initiates it from those 2 points. The heel nail is basically grounding. It's for the movement as well. The active or the energy is going to be moving through those 2 initial points. The big toe is basically also there to help support the energy or the balance, you know what I'm saying? And forgive me, because I've been teaching it, like I said, I had to regroup and go back to my teacher and really sit down with him and we talked. But forgive me, for a couple of years, I've been talking about 3 points and 3 nails, and I've been talking about the big toe, side of foot, and heel. Not the side of the foot. Side of foot is a bridge, but the nail is in actuality at the ball of the foot. The second nail is at the ball of the foot. It's not the side of the foot. You know what I'm saying? So forgive me for misguiding anyone on that process. So, you know, and I'm a man of honesty and integrity, whatever. And I'm not going to sit here and say I was right the whole time and then I was wrong. I don't want to mislead anyone. But basically, those 3 points are the 3 points, the traditional 3 points. I might have, you know, did some modifications on that as well, unintentionally. But at any rate, the 3 points are the points that you see there inside that yin-yang symbol. But those 3 points are the big toe, the ball of the foot, and the heel of the foot, the inside ball of the foot, right there. All right. So when we're standing here in this position before the first posture, go ahead and put your mind's energy to those 3 points. Fingers open like you got marbles in between them. Armpits going to be open like there's eggs in between them. Elbows round to the back, hands slightly to the side and to the back at the same time. Very relaxed. Same thing as within Tai Chi and in meditation. You want to sink down the shoulders. Chest sinks in. Roll the shoulders back just a little bit. Don't have them back like that. Don't have them forward like that. Just roll them back to where they drop, where you don't have blockages in the lung passage from the shoulders. Because remember, the shoulders connect to the lung passage. So when we breathe in, make sure the shoulders are relaxed and down. The chest sinks in slightly. Lower abdomen is going to be going in naturally from the slight bend of a coccyx in the knees. So when we sink down into the knees, coccyx goes forward slightly, shoulders round to the back, head's going to be lifted and slightly tucked forward. So it won't be down like that, it won't be back like that. This is normal, and this is how it will be in correct posture. So you see how it's going forward just a touch. And this creates a natural C within, see here, then the bend going here. So we have a natural C going zoom, zoom. That's that connection of the lower energies and the upper energies. So the upper and lower are connected. You got this thing right here that's connecting diaphragm to the pelvic floor. It's called the psoas muscle. So, you know what I'm saying? This right here helps strengthen it too, just by mind energy alone. But we're standing here. Do 3 breaths here. On the third inhale, or in heaven, we breathe in after the third one, so it'll be the fourth in heaven. We're going to breathe out very gingerly and bring our hands up to where we hug the tree, zan zan. So when we hug the tree, it's like hugging a person. You don't want to lock your elbows out. You don't want them too high. The index fingers are going to be right here at nose level. This is stimulating heart and lung energy through the heart and lung meridians, as well as large intestines, and heart energy, your stomach energy as well. So heart and stomach are the same pair, large intestines and lungs the same pair. So we're going to be breathing in through these meridians as the energy comes around, and it's going to breathe out. So we start out here 2 to 4 inches. Nothing more, nothing less. 2 to 4 inches of space in between the fingertips. Remember, the elbows are going to be dropped and rounded. We're not going to be locked out or stretched out too far. We're going to have a circle here. We're going to breathe in through the right palm. Allow the energy, 6 seconds, breathe in. Allow the energy to get to the center of the sternum. Hold for 3. And then we're going to breathe out the left palm. And really feel that going through there. Feel that your energy, your power, your potential. Feel that potential going through there. Pontius is Latin for potential. Pontius is Latin for power, but that's where we get the word potential, actually. So breathe in through the right palm. Hold for 3. Breathe out the left palm for that 6 seconds. Do this 3 times. You can do it more and more after you have built up enough strength and the ability to stand in this posture for a longer period of time. So on the 4th in heaven, we're going to exhale and float our hands very slowly as we breathe out to the Mystic Pyramid. So this is the second one, if you will. It's really the third one because Wu Chi is the first one. So we breathe in 3 times. What we're going to do is, again, the thumbs are going to be lined up with the nose. We're going to have our arms out, not locked out like this. A slight bend in it, like about to push somebody from here. And we're halfway there. We're not all the way in the push, but we're halfway there. Right there. Again, the thumbs are going to be lined up with our nose. We're going to focus our mind's eye in the center of the Mystic Pyramid. So from hug the tree, breathe in that fourth one, and breathe out, go into Mystic Pyramid. Thumbs lined up with the nose. Keep the elbows bent slightly, shoulders relaxed. Breathe in through the center, When you breathe in, a lot of energy goes from the center straight to the pineal gland, pituitary gland region, at the center of the mind's eye or the eyebrow. The mid-eyebrow region, mid-brow region. So breathe in, keeping the postures correct. Remember, the knees ain't going in, they over the toes. Over the ankles, not over the toes. Breathe in 3 times, this will be the third one. Breathe out. So when we inhale here, we're going to float our hands over slowly as we exhale. And this generates energy in the kidney. So again, this strengthens the kidney region. You can imagine colors for each organ as well as the sounds, if you will. So with the kidneys, the color is blue or black, and the sound is shui. So it'd be like you could breathe in, and you're gonna breathe in 6 seconds. Here, the breath is through both hands as we breathe in, and imagine or see the energy going in through the pineal gland region. As we focus in on the center, you want to breathe in through both palms, 6 seconds, hold for 3, and then breathe out both palms. So we're breathing in and breathing out. And then on that 4th one, breathe in and breathe out. We come to support the heavens. So we're supporting the heavens or lifting the heavens. The elbow is going to come in, but we ain't going to make them, very don't force it. Don't put a lot of power or nothing into this right here. When the elbows come in, just gradually bring them in to where you feel a slight pressure in your shoulder blades. Right here. You don't want to be right here. You ain't getting that done. If it's not the kidneys. It is, but it ain't. You want to go all the way into the kidney region. It's right here. So you go right there with the elbows. So when we breathe in, correct posture. Hands, try to get your hands flat without putting strength or muscle into flattening your wrist. So just go here, and we're going to breathe out and in both palms again. So we breathe in, and breathe out, breathe in. Always try to stay in your posture correct, no movements, minus the movements within the form. Anything else would be uncivilized. Alright? So breathe in, hold for 3, and breathe out the palms. Now we in heaven again. As we exhale, we're going to float our hands from here, bring our elbows out, and we're going to circle our hands under, and then come around into moon supports the sun. Or holding the money bags, as the good brother CHIA, Coach CHIA teaches. Coach K says this is money bags right here. So you got your big bag of money you just came out the bank with. You wanna be able to carry that thing like groceries. So you get up under there and you really carry this money bag. You know what I'm saying? So you got your money bag running. Get my money. Where you go? No, this is mine. No. This is a wet bag. Oh no, this is a wet grocery bag. I carry it from the bottom. But anyway, got the wet grocery bag or the money bag right here. Don't want to drop your money. So make sure your elbows are circled again, not locked out. So keep a circle or arc in the elbows. We're going to breathe in. And we're going to circle the energy around. As it gets here, it's 3 seconds. Hold for 3. Then we're going to circle the energy around and breathe out the right palm, left palm. So breathe in, right palm, circling it. Hold it for 3. Breathe out the left palm. Breathe in and breathe out. This is stimulating energy within the sacral as well as within the lung region and the heart region again. Really all organs are getting the stimulation, but since the hands are in this region, it's going to be generate more power because remember, this is the work palace. This is fire energy here, so it's going to be touching, even though it's not touching physically, the nerve centers of those different areas. So this is the sacral nerves here, the sacral plexus. It's going to be generate energy in that realm. So that'll be the large and small intestines, basically, and the sexual organs or the procreation organs, and the digestive system or the evacuation canal, basically. Cool. So breathe in, breathe out. On this inhalation, inhaling, breathe in is the fourth one. We're going to float our hands over very gradually and breathe out. I think this is more than 3. I went more than 3. I went beyond the third one. All right, so the 3, we stand here, we open up, Wu Chi, big toe. Remember, hand moves the foot. So the hands float up from here. We're here, hands float up. So you see the first movement is the second movement. Breathe in and breathe out. Four times. On the fourth breath, breathe in, breathe out, going from hug the tree to Mr. Pyramid. 4 times, breathe in. On the fourth one, go from Mr. Pyramid to support the heavens. So that's 3. Hug the tree, Mr. Pyramid, support the heavens. Then float the hands down. After the third one, we went through 5 of them, I believe. If I'm not sure, I think, yeah, I know we did. We went through 5. We went all the way to moon supports the sun. So we went Wu Chi, hug the tree, Mr. Pyramid, support the heavens, moon supports the sun. That's 5. But the 3 that we're going to basically focus on tonight, of course, the opening. So the opening. And right here, you want to get into those 3 points. So you're here, big toe. Then we're going to grind into the second point. Then we get into the third point without really rising up too much off of the first 2 points. So go in, big toe, first point. Step out to the third point, the third nail. Shoulder width apart, parallel, toes parallel. As the hands come up, it's going to move the foot. Then this foot is going to pivot by way of the heel. Then it's going to pivot back onto the side of the foot into the second nail, and then onto the first nail, the big toe. So very slow. Sink it down into the right leg, coming up on the left leg. Sink it down to the left leg, coming up on the right part. So it'll be like, see that movement is shifting the weight from there to there, then back to center. Big toe, heel, big to second nail to first nail. So sometimes you come out on the big toe. It's depending on you, big toe to the second point, then down into the heel. However you feel comfortable. Then do this 3 times. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in 3 times. The index fingers are lined up with the nose. Then when we do the fourth one, breathe out. Thumbs are lined up with the nose. This is generating heart and lung energy. This one as well. But if you notice, it's also going through the liver. energy as well. Liver being the middle finger, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, yeah. I'll get back with you on that though. I don't want to mislead you, you know what I'm saying? Steady, steady. Then from here to supporting the heavens. Then from supporting the heavens, we just relax, bring the hands down. Those are the three. From there, we want to come back with our right leg. So after we float our hands down, float the hands up, we're going to shift our weight into the left leg so that we have a good balance. Have good balance as we shift. We're going to bring our hands up, breathing in, and then breathe out as we bring the foot back over to the other foot and breathe out and float the hands down. So we was here. So you can drag it with your big toe to line up back where you was. And also this drags back your energy, your chi that you move from that point to initiate the first movement of Tai Chi from Wu Chi, non-movement of void. So after we regain our energy and we're bringing it back home, you just scrape it back with your big toe. You get that spiraling effect. See that spiral going through, just like the Naga symbol. See the spiral coming from below and coming from above. As above, so below. Meeting at the heart region, the collected here for the life purposes, as far as the sacral region is concerned or the root is concerned. But again, talking about these psoas muscles right here. Psoas might as well be equivalent to Ida and Pingala. It's the physical aspect, the most physical, abstract aspect of the Ida and Pingala, or that sacral nerve energy, that cerebral spinal fluid, whatever you want to call it. But those are the muscles that avenue of energy is traveling through. So it's good to keep them strong. And when they ain't strong, we show signs of it in life. It ain't just with the pains though. You know what I'm saying? If I'm disgruntled because I got to get out the bed in the morning, then my life is going to be disgruntled. But there's a lot of agitation in life as well. So in that agitation, that's basically going to cause a lack of sleep, a lack of energy, but it's also fear. The fear implement is going to bring about that momentum that is basically creating an unhealthy environment within the body. So when we can when that weak psoas muscle or back muscles or whatever starts to occur, it could be due to a lot of the information that's out there being so fearful or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's unnatural. That's unnatural to have to walk around 24 hours out of the day and the fear state is always there, somehow superimposed. You know what I'm saying? It's always there because that's, you know, in life, a lot of things that we deal with in life is through unknowingness. So that's basically fear. When we don't know something, because like when someone tells us something about a situation that we don't know about, we just might just wipe it off, shun it, and like whatever, you know. I don't know nothing about it, so I can't talk about it for one, and then they talking about it. I don't know what they talking about, so I'm not interested. But we ain't did no research, we ain't looked into it for ourselves, we haven't really participated with the information or the energy in totality to be able to judge it or whatever. Basically, we prejudge it because of our prejudices or our prejudices. All right, so those are the three Qigong's. I said I was going to go over three applications within the movements of the small form. I'm not going to do that. We're going to do three, what we just did. Some people might not like it, but I'm going to show you the three martial aspects of what we just did. Those three postures within the 8 standard of longevity. 8 standard postures of longevity. So the first one is opening up. We did this last week. But what opening up is, somebody's hands right here, bam, smack the hands off, come into Wu Chi. The second one is someone's hands up here on our shoulders. We come up to hug the tree. From hug the tree, 1 minute. It doesn't matter. I mean, he can do a job. I see y'all busy up in there. He won't do it. I get to him out here. It's live right now. What we're gonna do is, you know, the 8 standard postures, right? We're doing the 3 applications, first 3 applications. So we want to get about right there where it can be seen. And this is my youngest oldest son, Tasman. Man, this is my oldest son. Last week, Josh was in here, or a couple weeks ago, I said youngest. But anyway, this is my oldest son, Ty. Alright, so what we're gonna do is the first 3. Opening is again this right here. So we're right here, opening. This way it helps you put memory to the postures. So the opening, arms come up, foot to the side. Hands on, so just the move. Hands, somebody's hands is on your shoulders, something like it's a man trying to take advantage of a woman. The opening is again like this. So when you're coming up, it's like that. So basically that's all it is. That's the muscle memory in it. You want to kick with either the inside, going this way with the heel, or you want to kick going that way with the foot, this side of the foot. Alright, so hands right here. You ain't necessarily gonna be opening up. Your feet might already be like that, but you wanna notice that your hands are gonna come that way. You're gonna shift your weight to one side, so that's, you know, that movement. So when the hands are up here, bam. Alright. That's the opening part. The second one is we right here, coming in the Wu Chi. A hug the tree. So hands again. After this right here, bam, somebody else come to grab, they put the hands right there, your hands had already came down, so now your hands come back up. Alright, so bam, hands come back up. So your hands right there, after they come back up, the next move is hug the tree, support the heavens. So hands on the shoulder, hands come up, hug the tree, hands come up to hug the tree, automatically go to chop at the throat with supporting the heavens, or either go to the eyes. So your hands right here, come up to hug the tree, go to the eyes, hands right here, go to hug the tree, go to the throat. So the same thing. When it's fast, it'll be something like this. It'll be like, she ain't gonna be like that though, but she's like, bam, 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 right? So you come out, bam, sort of like a dance, but it ain't. So bam, 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 and then the next move from here, we ain't go that far. So we ain't gonna do that. So he gonna do it. Knock him, oh yeah, there you go then, the eyes or the throat. And then that's 3. Oh, Mystic Pyramid. We skipped Mystic Pyramid. Mystic Pyramid basically is a push. So you bam here, but the Mystic Pyramid, you come out right here, right? And then you come out right here. The Mystic Pyramid is in the flow of the hug the tree. So when the hands is right here and the hands come up, the Mystic Pyramid is automatically there. It can be a push, like you had your hand, somebody grabbing you, so he grabbing me, bam, going to a push. So that's the Mystic Pyramid. It also could be, instead of, so bam, you come up, bam, go into the push, somebody else is coming, that's when the hands come into the chop. So it's an all around linebacker thing. So that's the first 3. Wu Chi, come up to hug the tree, then come up to Mystic Pyramid, then go into Support the Heavens. For every internal aspect, there's an external. For every good, you can say there's a bad. But for every light side, there's a dark side, if you want to say it like that. But for every aspect of what the yin is, receptive energy taking in, there's a yang, giving the energy back out, or a fiery aspect to the watery mode. So those are the three applications of those postures inside the 8 standing. Opening, knock your hands off, little kick. Hug the tree, knock your hands off again. Somebody trying to take advantage of you. Then you can push. So knock your hands off, push, reach the pyramid. Somebody else is coming. Knock your hands off, push, chop. Knock your hands off, push to the eyes. Don't like this one to the eyes because you know you can miss the eyes and hit the cheekbones. If your fingertips ain't strong enough, it might break your fingers. So soft, go straight to the, straight to the throat with the chop. Push, chop. You can push, lead. Well, anyway, I ain't gonna get into all that. Again, this is my son right here, Tyratiala, right there, El-Bey, doing his thing. El-Bey. See you in a minute. Thank you so much. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. I know we started a little late there. Like I said, I wasn't planning on keeping you too long, but we did 3 meditation. Well, yeah, we did 3 postures within the meditation, the inner sides. Then we did 3 yoga postures, 3 qigongs. Spoke on a few things too as well. I hope you guys got something out of it. Take it home with you. Practice these for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or something. I might drop back in a couple of days, like a couple of weeks, and build on these things a little bit more. But for the time being, like I said, I'm gonna come back in with 3 more. 3 more postures in the yoga, 3 more postures in the qigong, and build on those and what they are doing and the applications and how the energy is moving through the body as well, and elaborate on more of it later on as well. But you can look it up. It's into kidney energy. We definitely want to strengthen the kidney energy at this moment. We're going in the winter, so we want to keep those kidneys warm. Like the brother said, rub your hands together, get them kidney rubs. It's going to strengthen the kidneys as well. This right here, when we're lifting up, when we're doing that shoe breath, that's a complete breath. So that's giving all the organs an exercise. But if you notice, what muscles is being penetrated? What are we engaging on? The shoulder blades and the lower back. A lot more so. That's why I said, be sure, if you're using your feet, if you're coming up on your toes, you'll definitely feel it in your thighs, and then all the way from your calves all the way up. It's a complete stretch. Even though we're standing, this breath right here, holding that breath and looking up, is going to cause the cervical vertebrae and the lumbar vertebrae and the sacral vertebrae and the coxaxial vertebrae all to line up with the thoracic vertebrae. So the whole 33 thing is going to be jumping and juicing and popping together and unified by this this stretch up. Holding the breath here, then when we breathe back down, it's going to lodge everything back in place. It's stretching the spine, getting everything a subtle, gradual, good stretch, and brings about more oomph, more potential, if you will. All right, so that's going to conclude tonight's discussion. Unless anyone has a question or something, I may be able to. And a brother had mentioned cut these up into segments. Yes, indeed, I will most definitely do that. I'm going to attempt to do it on this one. Actually, that means I'm gonna have to edit it. It's gonna load up here initially on its own. All right, after we shut it down. So tomorrow I'll probably have it edited down into 3 segments, to where it's not going to be 3 hours. As I see now, elapsed time is 2:58. So I did, and I said I'm a man of my word, right? I said we was going to keep this as painless as possible. Look like we're about to hit the 3-minute mark right now. All right, 3 hour mark. All right. So we're going to shut them down. It's been fun. It's been real. Oh, again, any questions? Let's if there are any questions, let's let me see if I can answer them. Oh, no problem. This is Brother Elohito, but yes, I will do my best on electromagnetic breathing exercises. Most of these are basically the same as when we're dealing with electromagnetic energy. We're basically participating with that yin and yang. So when we activate these three different areas, or we're going from upper to lower, it's just like the Merkaba forming or whatnot, when the potentials of the feminine energies or the earth energies and the potentials of the heavenly fatherly energies come down in what we would call like a pyramid shape or triangle shape. It comes down in that apex of our cranium, what we call the soft spot energy, the fatherly heavenly energy. We just call it fatherly energy, but the heavenly energy coming from the sky comes down, penetrates in there, and then as it comes up from the earth, it comes up through the perineum region where the sexual organ and the evacuation canal is, and that comes in as a peak, somewhat like a upside down V. This will be a V. This is an upside down V going up, and as they meet, they form a Merkaba, or what we call Merkaba, Star David. But the electric energy will be equivalent to the masculine or the fatherly heavenly energy. The magnetic energy will be equivalent to the earth energy coming up. It's a lot of magnetic energy within the earth and the iron core that's going on, and as well inside the earth, just like within our bodies. A lot of magnetic stuff going on with melanin and iron and copper and everything. Metal tends to be very magnetic, or attracts to magnets as well. But in the doing, that's the same thing with our manifestation process, because we magnetize to certain things due to our capabilities of melanin and our capabilities of iron within our blood. Not to get too rusty, but yeah, I will go more deeper into I do something on electromagnetic breathing and really basically focus and deliberate cognitive discipline or as we build on that. See. Selected my salon sister, Sister Harris, Barbara, no doubt. And it already started working. As soon as you put that positive vibration to it, it started working even more. That is so correct, Lord Zeph Omega, Lord Zeph Zeta Omega. Yeah, we definitely do need to get back to spiritual mental health. And it's just doing that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It ain't the doer, it's the doing. Like we know, it ain't the actor, it's the action. So the actions, you know what I'm saying? That's where the vibration is at. That's where the frequency is at. All right. So peace and honor, peace and blessings. We'll get back at you in a couple of like we say. So peace, prosperity, protection, and good health. To see you and I see ya. Love is love. Peace.
Scientific breakthroughs, unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. First World Order Radio, Tipz and Trikz Tuesdays. I'm Blackwater, the Meta Magician. Tipz and Trikz Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. That P Hey, that's fine. Hijacking the mind, aluminum bonds with intelligence. Rewind the message. Merry Christmas. 13 indigenous immigrants. State of the unison, addressing nothing. Foundations congruent, level to level. Fuck the embezzlements. Tales from the crypt, hitting blood rituals. 50 scores flying over California vacation. Flying dragons, swords and daggers, lions and tigers. Gotta get my bearings or perish. Tap into raw flesh, vampire, vegetarian. I'm a malnutrition, chemically imbalanced. Ethiopian, inhaling kush. Blue projects get pushed, move with the bush. Standing on the middle line, no defining. Swirling dervish, in between space and time. Trikz Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south, not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Tipz and Trikz Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south,